Oh, JJK, where do I begin? Hey guys, it's me, Tagaba, and listen, before I get into this video, I would just like to say, it'd be really fun if you guys hit that subscribe and like button. It helps me out a lot, way more than you would ever know. But anyway, I would just want to state, I love JJK. I love the power system, I love the universe of it, I like a lot of the characters. However, that does not mean there are things I do not like about it. JJK as a whole, it's very hard for me to rate and put on a list for animes I've read and or watched, but because of this, I thought it'd be a good idea to make a video on it and see how you guys felt about it, and see if there's anyone else who thinks the same way I do. So if you agree or disagree with what I say, please let me know in the comments. As for further ado, let's get started. JJK spoilers ahead. Do not watch unless you don't care about spoilers for the anime. I will be talking about the manga a lot in this video. So it's not my problem if you stay towards the end of the video after I tell you this. So let's start with something simple and small that I feel like a lot of people agree with, but also like, you know. You guys remember that one episode where Yuji meets his old high school crush? That also had a crush on him? Yeah, I liked that episode. That's pretty much all I had to say. I know it's pretty much a nothing burger because they don't really ever bring it up again or show anything or like do anything with it, but I enjoyed it, and I feel like a lot of people, including myself, would have enjoyed more of this. It would have shown like more character growth and other things with characters reflecting on their past and everything, not just like some one spin-off episode where it's just he rizzes up his girl and then like just nothing ever happens, never sees her again. Suchi's Sot makes it from across the court and still just like disappears afterwards. Like it was just a one-shot wonder. Like I just personally would have enjoyed more. Anyway, now that the salad's gone, we can pretty much get to the real bread and butter. Let's start with Gojo and Geto. Now, we both know they pretty much die in the end, which sucks, but there are things here I liked to see in the story. And things that I was, not as happy to see in the story. Like how Gojo was used as a weapon. Even after he died, his body was still used as a weapon till they could no longer realistically use him, despite him saying, you don't want to be the strongest, and like his whole character pretty much being not wanting to be the strongest because all people will see you is as a weapon. And not to mention, despite looking past all those character, like all that peak writing right there, they hyped him up to be this newest sorcerer. And I understand Sukuna was like the strongest sorcerer in history and everything, but did Gojo have to get off-screened? Huge fight, Gojo v Sukuna, hyped up for ages. I'm reading the fucking chapters as they're coming out, man, and he gets off-screened. You open the next chapter and you turn the page and it's just Gojo's body cut in half. You don't even see the top half. It's just his leg standing. You don't even get to see a fight. He just died. Just happened. And and it was like, and everybody was theorizing, oh man, maybe he didn't die. Maybe he's gonna use his reverse curse technique and heal. Nah. He died there. He died there because then afterwards they used his body as a weapon. What the hell? Hype of the century and he gets off-screened. Now you think you got away, Geto, because I was talking about Gojo being a bum and a fraud for too long. Don't worry. I'm right here. Now I feel the same way as I feel as they were not used to their fullest potential. Or should I say, Kenjaku wasn't used to their fullest potential. Yeah, you're good to go, Geto. I guess you passed. You kind of technically fucking died. I'm more mad at this bum Kenjaku over here. I feel like Kenjaku wasn't used to their fullest potential. Being hyped up almost the entire time alongside Sukuna to be this super big and scary fight and have that potential to be almost as threatening as Sukuna at times. And don't get me wrong, I know Takaba killed this guy with that other fraud, Yuta, but his death felt lacking. The fight was cool and interesting to read, but after he was killed it felt like there was supposed to be more with him, that he would come back. But after this fight, we don't hear much about him. In fact, we don't hear anything, really. And it's upsetting, since one of the things I was looking forward to when reading the manga in real time, was his big plan and his powers. And to see it kind of just go to waste was kind of just really upsetting. This cool power taking over Gato's body for his power to consume curses, to store up these curses and use them and unleash all this other stuff, and like so much hype to be killed by a fraud in Takaba. Like, it's insane. JJK also just kind of felt predictable at times. At least towards the end, for me. I have about 2 or 3 friends that will vouch for me when I say this, but when at the peak of JJK, me and my friends, we would read the chapters as they got leaked or as they were released. And let's just say if Kelshi was around back then and I put some money on those predictions, I would have a couple bands by my lonely right now, let me tell you. One of the first predictions I can remember making was about Jacob's Ladder and Angel. Granted, I was mostly joking about it because I was on the Lobotomy Kaizen TikTok, I won't lie. It was fun to just kind of be brain dead and jokingly say shit to my friends. And, I'd be like, it'd be funny, like, it's called Jacob's Ladder, he's gonna climb the ladder, And lo and behold, he climbed that fucking ladder. He climbed it, yeah, he actually did. Okay, yeah. Technically, he didn't climb the attack of Jacob's Ladder. He dodged the attack and then climbed up the debris to get to Angel, to then attack Angel. But still, he dodged it and wiped Angel out. But whatever, it could be worse. I could have been more spot on, it's like whatever. But I have a few more predictions to talk about. My second prediction was about Yuta entering Gojo's body. People were speculating what would happen, because if you don't remember, it was stated that he only had 5 or so minutes in Gojo's body. So people were trying to figure out what would happen. Would he die? Would the body somehow continue? Would Gojo's soul take back over because they were talking about the soul and the body? Or would Yuta's brain, just continue to power through? There was so much talk about it. Everybody was waiting to see that next chapter, to see what would happen, to see the fight continue and everything. And I jokingly made another prediction to my friends. And I said, guys, wouldn't it be funny if Gojo's body just fell flat on his face? He just went limp on the floor. How funny would it be if Yuta just went limp in that body and his body fell to the floor? Well, let me tell you, my friends didn't like that prediction, and they didn't like it when I was joking about it. But lo and behold, it came true. My third and final prediction is because it was kind of obvious, but I said Kusakabe would be off-screened, and lo and behold, he was folded like an omelet. And that was pretty much just a buffer for someone else to come and fight Sukuna, because it was at the time where literally everybody was fighting Sukuna, everybody and their mama was fighting Sukuna. We even pulled back Miguel to come fight Sukuna. That one guy that Gojo beat the hell out of because Gojo's low-key racist. Yeah, that guy. We pulled him out to come and fight Sukuna. For whatever reason. I could also shoehorn in Takaba being alive here because a lot of people did think he died after the Kenjaku fight because he was displayed in, Japanese funeral wear, or what typically a soul in Japanese literature wears, and the main reason people thought he died was because maybe Takaba thought it'd be so funny that if he actually died there, he died. And so a lot of people went with that and ran with that because it's in character, it's what his ability does and everything. Me, I don't really want to count this as a prediction though, because this was me mainly copium maxing because I love Takaba. Now that I am done talking about how it felt predictable at times, let's talk about, let's address the elephant in the room. The Sukuna fight. Yeah, the big, scary, mysterious, cool fight, and all of that. I thought it was gonna be cool and everything, you know, and it was. I thought it was ultimately just kind of okay though. Okay, wait, listen. I love the fights. I think that the fights in it are cool and fun and interesting, and it's super cool how they continue to try and bring everyone in, like, to prove that Sukuna is the strongest and how strong he is. But it starts to feel rushed at times and feels weird as some people that fight Sukuna are like one-time characters, like Miguel showing up because Sukuna just beat the shit out of everyone else, and like, don't even get me started on the dude he brings in. Like, I don't get it. Just bring anyone to fight him. Like, the next thing I know, Miwa's like they were just bringing anyone to fight him. Next thing I know, Miwa's gonna be stepping in like it just doesn't make sense. Wait, she did step in? She stepped in before Miguel? No way, you're kidding, right? No. She stepped in the fight before Miguel. Yeah, okay, for sure. And the ending to the fight is especially what feels rushed to me. I know it was, like, genuinely rushed because the contract for Shonen Jump with Gege and JJK and everything like that was about to end, so they needed to finish it. But it just felt lacking and rushed and made my entire opinion on the show and manga just lower. I understand his ideals changing after he loses to a group of people he considers weaker than himself is cool. You have this character that like has these walls built around them for the whole purpose of thinking that they're the strongest, and then being torn down because he realizes that a group of people is stronger. They're stronger together than they are alone. And seeing that real change is cool. But reading it live, when I was reading the leaks live, it felt off and weird. It just was, as I said, rushed, and it was not done the full justice and service that it genuinely needed and that I desired. You thought it was over, huh? Listen, I know I shouldn't really have an opinion on this yet because I haven't read it. But the new JJK manga that takes a time skip into the future, I feel like is really bad. I haven't read it, but from what I've heard, I don't think I would enjoy it. It almost seems like the story for JJK just kind of got forgotten about. Like, they kind of hyped up rebuilding the clans and setting it up for world building or a power scramble thing. But I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if Sukuna died, but the new manga literally just made a joke about, like a joke that someone made years ago come true with alien sorcerers. Yes, alien sorcerers. Some guy made a joke 7 years ago about alien sorcerers being real with like, oh, why doesn't Gojo just launch the fingers into space? And someone responded, alien sorcerers. And it became true. Alien sorcerers being a thing, like, that's just crazy. When I first heard that, I said, yeah, I'm not reading it till it's either done being written or like my friends are begging me to read it. Because, like, what do you mean there are aliens? It just kind of felt like they wanted to be dawned on so bad seeing all the hype around it. But, like, it's like what, how does this make sense? But you know it'd be really funny if Gojo somehow came back and as an alien. Anyway, that's about all my frustrations with JJK. And I hope you guys agree with me, and if not, let me know how you feel in the comments, and please leave a like and subscribe and enjoy. Yeah, I hope if you enjoyed watching, that is. And yeah, don't get reality mixed with fantasy. Get it? Cause like Takaba, that one joke, get it? Sorry, I couldn't think of a better joke for ending the video.